So good morning students. So in this video we are going to see about this JIT advanced features. So you know already this JIT is that is your version control software. So JIT is a popular version control system for software development. It allows you to manage different versions of code within a repository. So we will see the some of the advanced JIT features. So So the life cycle of how the local files are committed to the local repository and then pushed to the central repository server. So create first you have to create the file in the repository directory. Next step is add the file to the staging area using the git add command. Then commit the file to the repository with the git commit command. Push the file to the central server with the git push command. So this you could just stage and commit the file, but you wonder what changes were made to this file. So because you can make the sum of the working, you can bring the download the file from your repository. You are doing all the work changes and you want to take this through a staging area and commit to the central repository. So you wonder what are all the changes you made. So to check what are all the changes you made, you can go for the git diff command. So in this hidden.sh in the shell script, so what are all the changes you did, so that using this git diff command you can able to see. So this that is here a/hidden.sh b/hidden.sh. So this is your file. So if you are executing this, so here in this line 1, it ignore the first two lines of the output because they are not important at this point 1 and 2. Okay. So and line 3 and 4, that is a/hidden.sh b/hidden.sh. It referred to the two versions of the file. Each version is assigned a letter A to distinguish between the two versions. Line 3 refers to the version that has been committed, whereas line 4 refers to the version that is in the working directory. So that line 3, it refers to the version that already committed. So that is already you proposed, that is in the checked out in the repository. Line B, it refers to the thing that you worked now. Now what are all the changes you did? That is given by line 5, that gives the directions on how to make the two files look the same. So in this case it is simply saying at line 4 of the A file add a line 5 of the B file. So line 4 of the A, that is file A, so line 5 of file B. So that is following these directions would make the files look the same by making the committed version look like the version of the working directory. Similarly, line 6 to 10 visually shows what changes would have to take place in the committed version to make it look like the version in the working directory. That is line 6 to 10. So here plus means you have to add this. So that is a plus means before the line add this, minus means before the line remove this. So the output of the git diff command is referred to as the patch output. You can use the output to patch a file so that you can upgrade the file to the most current version. So to see the location of your remote repository, execute git remote -v. So that is to see the location of your remote repository. So some of the advanced JIT features. So first you have to get the content. So already in the previous thing we had discussed. So you have to download your Linux kernel from the tree, and what are all the changes you want to do for it, so that you can also it is changes you can do it and you can again deposit in the repository. So if that changes will be validated and then you can deposit. So how you can do, in what way you can do this? So that is first you have to get the content from the remote server. So so the process of getting the content from the remote server to the local repository and working directory, it is simple. In this you can execute the git clone command to duplicate everything in the project from the remote server to the local system. However, this process is much more complex than the in the development cycle. So that is to include changes from the remote server to your local repository and then working directory. You can use several methods to do this. So these are the commands you can use to, that is to send the changes from the working directory. So the git add command sends the working version of the file to the staged area. So the git commit command sends the staged version to the local repository. Git push command sends the changed versions of the files to the remote repository. So this -a command, it sends a version from the working directory to the staged area and then to the local repository. So, and again, how to get back from your, that is you can download from the report repository to the your working directory. You can use git fetch command, downloads the latest version history of files from the remote repository to the local repository. This command does not change your working directory, but you can use the git checkout command to make the working directory contain the latest versions of the files of the branch. So you can use git checkout command. So to git fetch command, it only downloads the file versions. It does not perform any merging. So the git pull command downloads the latest version history of files from the remote repository to the local repository. But this command also performs a merge operation and updates the content of your working directory. So this git rebase command takes all the changes from your branch and applies them to the current branch. This is a process called patching. So this is your thing. So how to take a file from your remote repository to a working directory, and then after making the changes, how you can again place your changes in your remote repository. So these are all the commands you will be using. So thank you students for watching this. So advanced git features.